Welcome, returning and new subscribers. I see my tongue. Welcome. It feels as though I haven't seen y'all forever, but this will not be a long live. Just wanted to pop through. If you wanted to book a personal, if you want to book a person. The information's in the description box. I am Goddess, I Priestess, Empress, Avila Pantera. Welcome all. As you can see from the title, Living Your Mystery, Your Story with Grace. And that download is coming through. Just a second. Download, upload it. Ooh. 717. Okay. 717 over there. But 616 prior to coming onto this live. Okay. Grand evening, beloved. Excuse me. I'm blessing I'll be banging. Okay. So upon rising, that's actually one of the times I peeped. This rising was 5:55 on the dot while meditation was playing and sound waves. And then went back to sleep for a little bit, woke back up. 6:16 was eating too. So I'm going on this live now with y'all, 6:16. So in the stove that I just turned off, the oven I just turned off was 220. I just saw 220 over there. So put it this way. Because that initiation process is you can experience so many different things in life, but to recognize or align with the true essence of an initiation, especially while you are literally closing it out, completing it, and you have already begun a new stage. But as you're beginning this new stage, there are obviously certain things that may be lingering where the higher self will place you in a particular experience through choices or decisions made. However, and it gets you into this space now to make a decision about what else has to go or what to move forward with. So what to move forward with will be those situations that you obviously could, especially once you recognize the grace point of view rather than the mercy aspect of it. Because the mercy aspect of this, of closing out initiation, there are certain things that occur that you recognize that are occurring, but you've been peeping it. But the mercy factor it'll put you in this space of whatever it is you're closing out, pissing you off. The space of grace will allow you to say, whew, okay, thank you for making that very clear. Thank you for making that very clear. Dumb upgrades, yep, massive, amazing, yet exhausting. Yep. And you know what? That exhaustion is perfection, because it'll get you into the space of where you yield to a higher power, inevitably. So much so that what happens in that process, you begin to unlock these abilities that you may have been suppressing, not fully aware of. And when I say not fully aware of, utilizing the energy, using your gifts, but in a way that there's so much more to it, and through these closing outs of these initiations that are happening with this full entrance into the age of Aquarius, might as well be at this point Lemuria and Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. Okay, so you know what? Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Okay, it makes everyone happy. Because I'm a firm believer in utilizing what's available to you and allowing, the soul to say yeah and no, and allowing the ego to take you through experiences so you can fully hear that yes and no from the soul. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely the breakthrough into one's true authenticity. That's the age of intention. That's the Aquarian age. That's the knowing, shifting. That's that's a massive shift right there, from believing to knowing, and the curiosity that comes with, what is it that you truly know? And it's not just a belief. And if it's a belief, what do you know about it? Because that's what's causing that shift, is the knowing of a belief. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the mystic, the oracle, the energy is increasing at a rate that your soul is very familiar with. It's not something you don't know or learning. It's more so getting into a space of this other level of remembrance. Mind, body, and spirit integrated with source. Yes. Yes. And the separation that's happening is where there isn't that connection of mind, body, and spirit with source, and where there is. Because along this journey, there may be certain things that you don't see yourself doing because of either pride or the ego or not wanting to feel embarrassed. But source says, okay, the more you hold yourself from this, the more I'm going to present you with an experience that you have no choice but to take that route, so you can let it go and free yourself, because that energy can literally stagnate that ebb and flow. Something as simple as being in a situation where one is not used to asking for assistance because one is used to doing everything on their own. The source says no. Gotta release why you would move that way. Is it truly from a space of what you would feel once you do what it is that you may feel embarrassed for doing? Because it's also going to show you exactly who you are and who's who. Because it's going to bring up a situation where you gain clarity as far as the energies that you are allowing into your space. in regards to a true integration of the mind, body, spirit, soul integrated with source. It's the most beautiful experience, regardless of the circumstance, because that same circumstance, which is what led me to writing that in the community tab, whatever it is you're experiencing right now, this particular moment is usually that pivotal point, either in a book or a seminar or wherever someone is speaking, or just sharing their gift, where you shift everybody that you're around just from overcoming whatever that situation was at that particular time, speaking from the essence of the overcomer. It'll shift your whole perception, and you can literally feel source in your vessel say, there it goes. That's source. All praises due to the Most High, Mama Universe, Papa Universe, Ashe, 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 angels, spirit guides, ancestors. What message do you have for the collective? Because this is the portion where you tell your story. This, what you're experiencing, is basically, boom, perfect example. What you got going on right now, that's the script. That's the script to the way you gonna play this out when you telling your story. Now that you know that 12, 11, 12, 12, feel that vibration, feel that frequency of this particular moment right here is showed me who, what, when, where, why, in connection to all that is as it relates to how. Yes. And yes, record it, honey. Look at this. Justice. Ace of Swords. And the Five of Swords. That's this. And the Five of Wands here. That's it. That's literally it right there. The Justice card with the Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. Venus right now is in Aquarius. Is it right now? Or should be. With Mars as well. Yeah. Acknowledging what you are truly going for with Venus and Mars in Aquarius. Justice, balance, harmony. Also in regards to legal situations. With the Five of Swords showing up there, Venus in Aquarius, having to do with sacred values, having that connection to the cosmic network that's bringing forth this mental clarity with the Ace of Swords and balancing out the situation, so much so that all it takes is for you to balance out your mind, balance out your heart, balance out your thoughts, your heart, all of your chakras, through the closing out of this initiation, your initiation being your current circumstance that you may not even, you may have been, wrestling with as to what to do. The source is saying, But what to do is happening right now. As a matter of fact, if we're really, looking at a situation and it's happening currently, it's something that already occurred. If we really tap into, the spirit and the soul, it's just viewing what has already happened. This is where this portion, this is you telling the story, but you're playing it out. This is what makes these films so great. This may not even have to be a film right now, but at the same time, just from what you're hearing right now in this message, if you were to watch yourself right now, how inspired would you be? How inspired would you be? You know? Because this is a Saturn and Leo card, 1616. Is with that 16 coming up quite frequently, that's a 7. That is spirit, divine perfection. We can look at the tower as a shift of the mind. The thoughts seem to constantly overpower the feelings because the thoughts always go, and that conversation is 6:33 on the timer. Until the divine mind kicks in. When that kicks in, now you're placing yourself in positions to get out of that survival mode to thrive into a space of, let me do all that I can so I can fully surrender to spirit. And whatever all that is in terms of what all one can do, to each its own, until you exhaust yourself. Until you exhaust yourself. And then that's when it becomes easier to say, all right, source, what now? But from a lighter space, though. You know what I'm saying? Where now source can place the solution within you effortlessly, or wherever it has to go. It can set up a situation where whatever it is that you're looking for now, because you're on the path of least resistance, it can meet you and see you. The tracking numbers align. That's 6 of Swords right there. That's Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury's in Aquarius too. So there's a lot of balance of one's thoughts that are occurring right now. Because it seems to be the foundation of feelings for majority. But once that mind is, because you want to talk about power, you want to talk about the oracle, oh, you'll meet that oracle and your mind is clear. That's a true alchemist, when the mind is clear, because the heart's always open, it doesn't close. It's our thoughts that are not in alignment to divinity that pushes us away from that open heart where all the power is. So when the thoughts stop going against the current, it can get back in flow with the water. I'm going to go straight to the oracles. I am inspired. Yes. Yes. What did you say in the comments? You said something, and all I heard was, those are words of a shift. Those are words of a shift. I just got chills. Those are words of a shift. The Justice, Ace of Swords, and 5 of Swords. All that mental conflict, beloved, this is it. It's done. What's at the top? Six. Look at that. Six of Pentacles. More scales. It's done. See, this balance of emotions and feelings with the scales, justice, followed by the Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. Look, we stop shuffling. They go Archangel Michael. Not a game. With the Justice, Ace of Swords, and the Five of Swords, and then you got this Six of Pentacles coming out with the scales of justice on top of this figure in blue. You see, some of you may even be in this position here of asking for assistance, and then you're being directed into certain situations just to see the truth of all that is. But you're also this giver. But you're being asked to do certain things so you can align with that version of your higher self external to you. Being placed in situations to ask yourself, what would you do in this position? See, there's this very strong vibration of just more than the mystic and the oracle on this planet. It's true, and when you express galactic beings, earth angels, that ain't no taboo expression. It's real. Very real. It's more real than humans, if you ask. Your soul. Putting two and two together. Because peep, the way this is situated here, putting two and two together in alignment to the soul. Let me see what's under that. The Three of Pentacles, all together, Nine of Pentacles. Venus and Virgo, really seeing what you should be moving along with. Because that which you thought to be in alignment to or with are part of that old story, are part of those old thoughts that are not even alignment to that heart center. Because being in that alignment to that heart center, your heart got to be as what? Light as a feather? Yeah. But as long as there's situations still holding on to heavy things going on, it's part of that initiation. That's what's closing out. 2332. That's what's closing out. That's 9. 2332, yeah, it's a mirror. It's a reflection. That's 9 digits in between. Divine mind is logic and intuition balanced out. So much so you can step into that aspect of that non-duality. Your source is. And now you begin to go through these shifts. Definitely not the way you used to, but certainly from a space of compassion. Even in these situations where source is making you look at certain things and situations and say, okay. Because in order to get to that non-duality, there's first the forgiveness, but then stepping out of that. Because that's what Lucifer came out here to teach, though. To not condemn yourself so you're not out here in that forgiveness rat race. Yes, you'll hear it. You'll hear it in messages. But forgiveness is key. Yeah, it's the key to unlocking that other door. To bring that light in. Heart is light as a feather. You ever really wonder what allows a bird to fly? If you really just sit and just ask yourself, it's a living thing, just as we are. Because as humans, you see that are humans that are, you know, humans in terms of not unlocking that God code. Because those that have that God code unlocked on a whole nother way, you're not going to see them out here flying. But there are beings that can. But what I'm getting to is majority can walk, run, swim, gracefully so, thankfully so, because obviously certain people have, certain situations where they can't, understandable. But what I'm speaking to is, the capabilities naturally of the human body that most are aware of. Where did flying go? Because there are other animals that walk on how many ever legs they have, swim, run. Now the question would also have to do with the fishes too, that all they can do is swim. That's a whole nother topic, because that's gonna take me down a whole different path. Because they're in their own realm. You can only know but so much about what's happening underwater unless you go there, because that's a different realm. The same with the sky or that space, the cosmos, the galaxies which you can travel to ethereally. But again, another topic. But I'm just saying. Ever wondered? Heart is light as a feather, and we have that example quite often just with birds. When they say take a moment and pause and just view what's going on around you. They tell you a lot. You hear throughout messages of the significance of birds and paying attention to birds, but if you go a little bit deeper, that thing can fly. It can flap what we would consider our arms and get off the ground. But you see this recalibration of one's thoughts. Figuratively, that's what we're stepping into. 644. What's the energy? What's the energy here? Man holding a coin and the thinking man. I mean, that will be the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles. 46, 43. See, speaking of land and air, seeing things crystal clear. Healer of the ages. Seeing situations exactly as they are. This one here is coming through with the sacral chakra energy as far as Archangel Ariel and the golden pentacle. 43, 7. Taking intuitive action, being that it's the man holding the coin, the man holding this earthly realm, or as far as man, the external factor, or the masculine energy, masculine principle. Action based on one's use of one's willpower, the use of choice. Let's see here. Victory. I mean, that's clear as day. Whatever this situation is, as far as justice is concerned, and Archangel Samuel, Now, when we was talking about here, it's solar plexus energy, because this is what stands under the heart. The heart's understanding is your soul. Solar plexus. The brain and your nervous system together, that's your solar plexus. The heart, that's its understanding. That's its overstanding. Understanding. The heart understanding as far as, okay, let's the heart's understanding is the solar plexus because it stands under the heart chakra. So that's just dang, that just goes a whole other route too, as far as people speaking of the heart attacking. No, it just had nothing to stand on. Just had nothing to stand on. Or connect to. Which is why it's important, whatever these situations are, look at it from you telling your story of inspiration. Because it's gonna come off way differently. Because it's real easy to get, pissed off. But let source work with you, let source work through you now. And let you know, look at this situation. Because it's gonna have you hear conversations that as you're going through this, who, what, when, where, and why that's included may not recognize that source is putting you in a position just to hear clearly what's going on around you. And don't fall for the cliche that when you hear the truth, at first it'll piss you off, then set you free and get out of that program. When you hear the truth, it sets you free. It releases the load from your heart space, because some of y'all already know half of the shit that's occurring. You just need a much clearer example as to what is going on here. 32 all the time on 5-5 change. That's what it is. That's what it is. Ooh-wee. Mm. Mm. Another angel showing up here. Metatron at that. So it said you gonna see, because this is the mind's eye energy right here, number 40. You gonna see what you standing with, what you can stand on, where your heart is. What is it standing on? Because as you get into that space of truly knowing your role, because we are all here, if you really look at it, we're all here to inspire one another through our own authentic story. But the issue becomes when there's a competition and people are looking to 3355 to do the same as another instead of just being their authentic self. But see here with Pluto and Aquarius, is helping you to go through these endings and transformations so you can truly connect to who you know you truly are. Because in some cases you may have to hold yourself back because your lingo and someone else's lingo are really not the same. Not that it has to be, but as far as energy, frequency, and vibration and the direction that you're going, you know what I'm saying? Giving love to love, not fear and hate to love, is what I'm saying. And it shows up in different ways, but you just got to pay attention and give love to these situations. Because that's way stronger than revenge. That's way stronger than anger. That's way stronger than having a conversation within yourself as to da 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 da. And what's coming up now was a previous message where some of you are going through certain things to do certain things because you may be another person's karmic lesson. The way that light just came up over there, 651, 66, 12, 3, because it's time for expansion. And that heart is connected to source. You mean to tell me that if your heart stopped, your whole shit shut off? Yeah, that's source. Your heart has to be as light as a feather. So whenever you get into this space where you feel as though your back may be against the wall, get deeper into your meditations, because right behind all of that is another side to your gift, your talents, your abilities, because you're reconnecting with your heart, because you're getting to a point where you have to yield to source and say, okay, what is it? And once you're in that chamber, that dark chamber of healing, once you're in there, make sure you clean yourself well off so you can see. Rest and rejuvenate. 19. And at the top, cornucopia. 11. That's your justice here. Listen. It's not even about who wasn't there or what it's way beyond that. What's the energy you're feeling? What are the thoughts that are coming up based off that feeling? Now, you know your thoughts are always going. So change your thoughts once you change your mind, you're going to change everything else. Once you get back in alignment to being in that land of milk and honey, because the land of milk and honey is your pituitary and the pineal gland having an orgasmic experience. Now, the pituitary has more to do with you receiving the spiritual experience, okay? And the pineal gland is assisting you with seeing it through, but also because that is honey. So bringing sweetness to what it is that you're receiving, because as far as water, you know, it can take on a lot. It can take on a lot. It can give you different responses, but the deeper you go, the more you get connected to what's hidden in a whole nother realm that your heart is well aware of. Community, number 7. Yeah. For some of you, there's literally someone that you'll be connecting to in your community. Whether this is, it can be any community, whether it's social media, work, your neighborhood. There's something here coming together because your vision is clearer. And this something has a lot more to do with victory in terms of no longer letting any and whatever situation plug on your heartstrings, especially with that fear and anger. Letting it go. Cornucopia. And then we have the matching pair. There you go. There you go. This thinking man, they're saying is Archangel Metatron 4640, but 46 comes to It's equivalent to the strong and mighty one segment. But here we have the community, we have the matching pair of the feminine and the masculine, or what we were just talking about, the pituitary and the pineal gland. It's fully crystallizing for you in the sense of you're utilizing its anatomical features as it relates to your body. Again, we're being able to see through different realms with this black cat here. Some of you here are going to have a lot of people within your community that truly support you. And speaking of that 32, this is 43 and 42, 44 and 32. 44 is behind this number. The divine realms are behind this number. That 4 and 4 is an 8. It's important that you're in a space where your mind is clear, especially in the year that is about you, putting in that work to achieve success. For some, first step is clearing that mind and these energetic frequency that can, trip you out. Drink my tea. It's just cloves, cinnamon, and honey. It's not even that sweet. It's not sweet at all, actually. But yeah. And then the sun card. I mean, hello, 4144 on the timer. 14432, Empress, High Priestess energy. This is quite the mystery. You connect to your emotions and it tells you a story, but as it tells you this story, what are you becoming clearer on? And in making your next move, your wisest move, is the move you make learning your lesson from these obstacles and challenges as it pertains to who you are and what you would do in any of these situations. And the way you tell your story that inspires someone to keep going, so much so they know which path to get on, which is their own path, to get it done the righteous, divine mind way. God loves, I'm going to leave your message there. May you have an amazing, abundant evening. Okay? I love you all very much. If you're wanting to book a personal, information is in the description box. And I see y'all on the next video with your beautiful, handsome selves. 43, 33, 34 on the timer. Come on. Ciao.